All right, I will go ahead and call to order the meeting for the mayor and the board of aldermen for March 18th, 2025. Next item on the agenda is adopt the agenda for the meeting. Oh yes, we need to make some additions on these. First addition will be 3C8, which is request permission for 7 employees to attend stress management training on March 27th, 28th, 2025 in South Haven at no cost to the city. 4C, which will be request permission to approve, authorize the mayor to sign a contract with Tyndall for repairs and maintenance of the Oxford parking garage based on proposal and quotes received. And then 6F is request permission to extend the sidewalk closure at 401 East Jackson Avenue until Monday, March 24th, 2025. With those additions to the agenda, do I get a motion to accept the agenda for the meeting?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, mayor's report, real brief. Tonight, our mayor is not with us again. She is still recovering from an illness and surgery. We do hope that she makes a speedy recovery back to us and get behind the desk and make this place run. But we are here to say that we've got it. Our department heads have really stepped up over this time and has done a wonderful job. And we do appreciate everything that they've done while she's been out. We also had our COO, Hollis Green, and Mary Martha Crow, our alderman, and Keisha Howell Atkinson visited DC over the spring break week and met with our congressional delegations to talk about our request for this year. And I know that they had a successful trip. We were just talking about it before the meeting, and sounds like they had a good time meeting with our congressionals. The one thing that they did get to see was the debate on the floor for the House resolution to extend the budget for 2024, and I thought that was pretty interesting.
Awesome.
So glad y'all got to go and represented us very well, and we appreciate it.
Proud to do it.
Next item, we want to congratulate the Ole Miss men's and women's basketball team for making the NCAA tournaments in both men's and women's. So we're excited about that, and we will be watching with enthusiasm. And last, I would like to welcome all the students here. I don't know what class y'all are representing, but it looks like y'all, teachers said y'all get up here and get some stuff done. So we do appreciate y'all being here, and we'll hopefully make this meeting go quick. One thing, just bear with us. We got a new agenda format, so we're trying to learn that as we move forward. So we might make some mistakes, and that's okay. But just want to let y'all know that, so you don't think I'm just an idiot up here. So
well, might make mistakes, but we'll fix them before we do.
Oh yeah, we'll fix them right then. But we'll probably make multiple mistakes. So, all right. Next item on the agenda is to authorize the minutes of the regular meeting for March 4th, 2025.
I move we authorize the minutes.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Authorize the approval of accounts for all city departments.
Move to pay the bills.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Consider the consent agenda. Ask you with the addition.
Motion to consider the consent agenda with additions.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, moving to 4A, we're going to request permission to advertise for reverse auction bid for two 8-yard rear loader garbage trucks. Evelyn?
Yes, sir. We would like permission to advertise and participate in reverse auction with central bidding.
All right,
Motion made.
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank y'all. Well, we'll request permission to approve a subscription agreement with LexisNexis for public record search services for the Oxford Municipal Court and the city clerk's office. Ashley?
Yes, this is an agreement. It's a renewal agreement for something we've had in place for about a year. We use for checking, looking for return mail, correct addresses and such to update for parking tickets, municipal court, and the clerk's office.
Perfect.
Motion made. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you. 4C, which is request permission to approve and authorize the mayor to sign a contract with Tyndall for repairs for the maintenance of the Oxford parking garage based on the proposal and quotes received. Mark?
Yes, we had a routine structural audit of the parking garage. They found a few minor repairs that needed to be done, nothing alarming or major. So it's about 21 items, mostly superficial. We did get 2 quotes for that. And this is a contract, so we wanted to have y'all look at it, but the total is $21,000, $21,967.91, which is a budgeted item. But again, wanted y'all to look at this contract, and we're asking for permission to accept.
Motion made to approve.
All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Thank you all. All right, 4C.
Yep, to be correct.
All right. Request permission to allow the John C. Stennis Institute of State Government and Community Development to perform a salary survey for the city of Oxford. Braxton?
Yeah, we're just trying to add some tools as we get ready for this year's budget. They'll do a comprehensive study of benefits and salaries from neighboring municipalities and counties.
Perfect. Have a motion?
Motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you. We'll request permission to approve a parade assembly permit for Brooks Fuller to host a ribbon cutting for room-to-room movers in the City Hall Pocket Park on Monday, March 24th, from 11 a.m. to 12 p.m.
Yes, there should just be a handful of people, 20 or so, with some Chamber of Commerce members and about a 15-minute ribbon cutting.
Okay.
I move.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you. All right, we'll move on to request approval of the preliminary and final plat case for number 3197 Daniel Kearns and for 805 University Avenue for the property located at 803 University Avenue, being further identified as PPIN 6026. Kate?
Thank you. The subject property is located on University Avenue, north of the South 8th Street intersection. It's located in the South Lamar Historic District. There's an existing contributing building known as the Meek Duval House on the lot, which is to remain in place. Should this proposal receive approval, the existing lot would be subdivided into 2 lots measuring 0.42 acres and 0.46 acres. Lot 1 would consist of the existing building, while Lot 2 would encompass the existing drive and yard. The applicant states that the owner intends to designate the proposed Lot 2 for a new single-family residence. Any such plans would require the review and approval by the Historic Preservation Commission. The engineering department provided comments regarding access, water and sewer, and stormwater management. This plat was heard at the March meeting of the Planning Commission, where it was unanimously recommended for approval, and staff is recommending approval of the preliminary and final plat with 2 conditions.
Any questions from the board?
This is a Doty house?
Yeah. Yes.
And they're just taking the empty lot that's already there and adding one house, is that right?
Correct. So there's one existing house on the lot, if you're looking at it, that sits on the left side, and they're subdividing in the second lot, which would be to your right, is where they're planning to build a new single-family house. Just one.
What's the access, egress, ingress on the university?
Yes.
Is it one drive, they add in a drive?
There's an existing drive that's there now. Use that existing drive.
Yeah.
And then the Doty House uses they have an existing drive.
Because it goes back around the
Yeah,
back.
there's not a new drive planned. Yeah,
There's no additional drive.
right.
And I'll be honest, we have not seen any plans for a new house on the new lot.
But all that's got to go through historic preservation.
Right.
That's right. Historic Preservation would have to review plans for new construction, any modifications to the existing house. It's also worth noting that at the planning, it's fine. Well, I just think it's also worth noting that at the Planning Commission meeting, we did have a resident that inquired about the Doty House and the plans for renovation to it. And Howarth and Associates has been retained, and they had representation at that meeting, and they said that they've already begun the process to identify what needs to take place for the renovations, and I think that there may be some plans for an addition, all of which would come before the Historic Preservation Commission for consideration.
Okay. Any other questions?
So our approval is just a single-family home in this lot.
That's right.
Yep.
Well, not even that, you're just approving the
Approving
subdivision.
the- Yeah, subdivision of the lot into
Okay.
2.
Gotcha.
That's the only plans that are before us and that
Okay.
we've seen.
Okay.
All right.
What is it zoned right now?
Excuse me.
What is the zone?
It's neighborhood residential.
And it's in the Conservation Overlay District.
Staff's recommending?
We are,
Okay.
with two conditions. One's related to the stormwater, and the other is just the approval is for the plan as submitted.
Okay.
Are they primarily the same size lots?
Yeah, one lot will be 0.42 acres and one is around 0.46 acres. So they meet the underlying standards for NR, and also they're consistent with the conservation overlay as well.
Yeah, we evaluated
So,
the
yeah.
the adjacent lots, and it seems to be compatible.
All right. Need a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve.
All right, do I have a second?
I'll second.
All right, motion and a second, all in favor?
All right.
Any opposed? All right. Thank you. Motion carries. All right. Request approval of preliminary plat for case 3196 Capstone Development for the Mar Phase 7 for property located at the southeast corner of Molly Bar Road and Chickasaw being further identified as PPIN.
No, that's good. I'm sorry. Good.
And Chickasaw Road being further identified as PPIN 41130. Robert?
All right, the subject property is about 2.2 acres at the north end of the Lamar TND. Applicant is requesting a single lot subdivision to coincide with the site plan for Phase 7 of the Lamar, which is a 3-story multifamily building. The proposed lot complies with the dimensional requirements of the TND. Construction plans are provided with a site plan for Phase 7. Covenants for this phase will be required at the time of final plat approval. The case was approved on the consent agenda at the March meeting with 2 conditions in the staff report, and staff and planning commission recommend approval of the requested preliminary plat for Lamar Phase 7 with 2 conditions in your memo.
Okay.
Motion made to approve.
Second.
All in favor? Any opposed? Thank you. Request approval for the final plat for case 3173 Oxford Common Lot for the Summit Phase 3 for property located at Air Perry Boulevard being further identified as PPIN 4712. Robert?
Okay, so the property is about 20.5 acres, located mostly inside the Oxford Commons PUD. It's west of the preserve, south of the Summit Phase 2, and north of the Pearl. The applicant proposes a 2-lot subdivision of about 9.8 acres and about 7.9 acres to be the 3rd phase of the Summit. This phase will connect Lakewood Hill Drive to Summit Drive, providing access eventually to Ed Perry Boulevard. Both of those lots meet the dimensional standards of the underlying suburban center zoning, and those areas inside the PUD will have additional standards for use, intensity, and density as prescribed in the PUD plan. Engineering provided comments in the attached staff report regarding access, water and sewer, and stormwater management, and this case was approved on the consent agenda at the January meeting with the 5 conditions listed in the staff report, and staff and planning commission recommend approval with the 5 conditions that are in your memo.
Any questions?
Motion made to approve with conditions.
All in favor? Any opposed? Thank you. All right, we will request approval for the preliminary and final plat for case 3201 Oxford Commons for the crossing Phase 5 for property located at FD Buddy East Parkway being further identified as PPIN 3966 and 9142.
Thank you. This is a request for a 1-lot subdivision that will create, it's 1 lot that measures about 59 acres. The property's located off of Buddy East Parkway. It's right there around our fire station and just south of the last phase of the Heights. The planning department is currently evaluating a site plan for what would go on this particular property, but this request is for the subdivision merely for ownership, doesn't allow for any work to be done at all. That would be all subject to an approval of a site plan. Planning commission and staff recommend approval with the staff conditions listed here.
Okay.
Is this area still in that original PUD?
It's not. This is outside of the planned unit development.
That's what I thought. Okay.
Yeah.
Make a motion to approve with conditions.
All right.
Thank you.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you. Request approval of preliminary and final plat amendment for case 3200 Ricky Britt Drive Storage LLC for the Greenpoint Commercial Plus subdivision, Phase 2, Lot 1, for property located at 253 Ricky D. Britt Boulevard, being further identified as PPIN 7503.
So in January of 2024, the applicant came forward with, it was one large parcel at that time. They came forward with a subdivision to create 3 lots. The applicant, actually the owner of lots B and C, is hoping to combine and create this just as 2 lots. So you would have Lot 1A and Lot 1B. So this is merely an amendment just to combine lots B and C. The Mississippi subdivision law does require us, the applicant, to provide letters of support or approval of the modification of the subdivision. The applicant did provide those. Those are in your packet. Planning Commission did recommend unanimously approval with the 2 conditions listed in your staff report.
Okay. Have a motion?
Motion made.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you. Consider a request for Yellow Joe Construction for permission to work on Sunday, March 23rd to March 30th on the North Lamar and Varner Loop Drainage Improvement Project. John?
Yeah, this request, we have some work to do in the Beacon parking lot, extend that pipe through there, and because the Beacon's closed on Sundays, and the work that we're doing is gonna take up about half that parking lot, we've talked with the business owner, and we feel like we can do that on Sunday without interruption to his business. So we're giving him 2 Sundays. It should only take them 1, but we're gonna give him 2 Sundays in a row to get that work done without messing up the Beacon.
Perfect.
Move we approve.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you. Request permission to advertise for the bids for the South Lamar Pedestrian Improvement Project.
Yes, this project is intended to pedestrian connectivity from Oxford Way in the south up to Belk Boulevard, the roundabout, right there next to Paragon Bank. The idea is to construct one large multi-use pathway on the east side of the road that will connect to the existing sidewalk at the red light at Oxford Way and extend to the north. We have plenty of right-of-way. Right-of-way shouldn't be an issue, and it should be a project that we want to start right after school is out and can complete before school starts back.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Thank you.
Thank you, John. I know that's been on the project list for a while.
For a while, yes, sir.
All right, we'll request permission to advertise for bids for the North Lamar and Molly Bar roundabout projects.
Yeah, this project will build a new roundabout where we all know is the 3-way intersection. We want to accept bids and start construction again right after school is out so we can do the bulk of the construction during the summer. It'll carry over into the fall and possibly into the winter, but we feel like this is the best setup for us to get the bulk of the work done and without messing up too much to the businesses there on those 4 corners.
Motion made to approve.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you.
So is that a record for roundabouts in a mile?
Do I?
Is that gonna be a record for roundabouts in a mile?
It could be. If I had my way, I'd have a couple more, so stay tuned.
All right, we will move on. Request permission to release performance bond number 300537226 for the Evergreen Phase 3 A and B for the water and sewer improvements.
Yeah, this was a bond that was put up by the developer actually several years ago to be sure that there was water installed up George P. Patterson Parkway, up past M Trade Park, but also to where Pine Lake Church is, that facility. Those facilities have been in place for at least 2 or 3 years operational. We have no trouble, so we are coming to you to release this bond.
Okay. A motion?
Second.
No, do I have a
Do you
motion?
have a motion? Well, do you? Make a motion that we accept.
Second.
Second.
All in favor? Any opposed? Thank you.
Y'all all sound alike, I didn't know.
Request permission to accept change order number 5 and pay application number 8 for the Oxford Square Downtown Detention Project.
Yes, this will be a final quantity change order. For all intents and purposes, the project is over. I did make a note on the memo to let you know that this pay app does not include retainage. We will not release their retainage until all the final paperwork on that project is complete. So this is just to pay them for the work that they have done. But the retainage in the amount of about $40,000 and change is still being held.
Motion made.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? All right. 6F is request permission to extend the sidewalk closure at 401 East Jackson Avenue until Monday, March 24, 2025.
Yeah, at your last meeting, you voted to allow these guys to close that sidewalk during spring break. They had a utility conflict that was quite major, and they had to shut down for about 3 or 4 days, so they didn't get to do any work hardly last week. They've picked it back up. They've actually are going to pour the new concrete apron into the hotel tomorrow. But because of the amount of traffic that goes in and out of the hotel, including buses, we want that concrete to cure for a few days. So that's why we're coming to you asking we keep that sidewalk closed until Monday. We do have pedestrian detours set up that takes people around Van Buren down to the parking lot. But it is what it is.
Just as a heads up, I know Mayor Pat is always in that area. Mm-hmm. He's notorious for leaving things in uncured concrete, so.
Okay. I'll let him know.
Security.
All right.
There.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Ask the board, consider an executive session.
Motion made.
Motion. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.